Hey everybody, I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in the market. If you are in the market to sell a home anytime soon, you're going to want to know exactly what's going on in the market, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of what is going on that's going to be really critical. Obviously, you don't have to go very far, turn on the news, and you're going to hear all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the economy. I'm going to filter through that, find out what is important to you to know locally in our local market. Obviously, there's no national real estate market. It's always local. So I'm going to boil down what's happening nationally, and we're going to dive into what's going on here regionally so you can be smart and understand exactly what we're getting into when it comes to if and when you want to sell the house and what you're up against, and come up with a strategy to be successful with that. So first of all, I got to give kudos to Sarah Perkins. She works for a partner of ours, 72 Sold, which is a selling program. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about 72 Sold here in just a little bit. But I want to give kudos to Sarah for putting this PowerPoint together, allowing us to share it with you folks, everybody that's in our sphere. And then on the right-hand side, this is all our local multiple listing services data. So this is going to take her national numbers, and then we're going to look at things locally right here in Cherokee County and Cobb County specifically. So first thing that is really interesting to note is all the institutional buyers that were out there, some of the big ones that were out there, that a lot of people were selling their houses to. These large cash institutional buyers were paying almost market value, if not a little bit more, for houses 6 months ago to last couple years. Those would be the Zillows, Open Door, OfferPad were some of the bigger names that were out there. Zillow is totally out of the purchase game now. They've gone back to their original foundation of what they originally were doing. So, but let's just kind of take a look and see what's going on with the other big one, Open Door. Open Door was very aggressive with buying houses. When you were a seller last year, Open Door was paying a ridiculous amount. However, they've had a net loss of $1.4 billion in 2022. So what does that tell you? Kind of tells you that they were trying to capture market share and weren't necessarily concerned about profit, if you ask me. Their stock market is obviously way off. It's down 85%. OfferPad's kind of got the same kind of a story, just a little bit smaller numbers. I don't know where this all leads with as far as where these institutional buyers are. This is with the message that you need to understand moving forward if you are looking to sell your house. Those avenues probably aren't going to be a viable avenue for you anymore. Sometimes we've reached out to Open Door to get an offer on a property, and they've decided to put a freeze or a hold on a lot of the zip codes that they were buying in the past. So number one, they may not even be buying in that area any longer. And number two, the offers that they are offering aren't even close to what they were a year ago. So they're usually much less, probably still worth, getting an offer, which is something that we can help you out with just to kind of get an idea. But I think you're going to be surprised with just how little that they're willing to offer you on a home. So anyways, that's kind of what's going on in that big institutional, the iBuyer, cash buyer, institutional market that was super popular over the last 3 or 4 years. It has totally cooled off. Okay, let's look at existing home sales. So this is going to be really important for sellers. Let's just focus on in the South because that's where we're at. We are off by 36.6% year over year. Now that's January existing home sales. So I wanted to take a look at home sales. All right, so let's take a look at it locally to see where we're at, find out exactly where we're at. You can kind of see Cherokee County, we're off by 47% homes for sale. I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. We need closed sales. Yep. All right, here we go. Cherokee County, we're off by almost 32%. Cobb County, we're almost off by 39%. So kind of right in line with what they're seeing in the Southeast region as a whole. As a listing, if you are a potential listing client, you can see that it's off. All right, so now we need to find out, is it just a lack of demand? Is there something else going on that causes this decrease in number of sales over the last few months? You can see that it's continuously sliding down. So you need to dig a little bit deeper to find out exactly what the cause is of this. So let's keep on digging down a little bit more. This slide is kind of interesting. This shows the difference between the number of new listings that entered the market last year compared to this year. And there are fewer listings going onto the market. So fewer people are electing to sell their homes. That's all this is really kind of telling us. The numbers are pretty drastic. We should be seeing a ramp up at this time of the year, heading into March. We're actually in March right now. However, you can see that it's actually slowing down. So this is really going into our busy season, and it's not going to be that busy. Once again, if you're thinking about selling, you better have really good strategy. We are no longer in a market that you can simply hire an agent to put a sign in the front yard, put the listing out on your multiple listing services, and then pray someone else comes around and sells the house for you, and you're going to have multiple offers. Okay? You're going to need a little bit more strategy than that. So that's just a indication of what's going on, and something that you're going to want to keep in mind. This is an interesting stat that has a lot of us concerned. There is now more homes being, now this is a national number, there are now more homes being built to turn into rentals than there are being built to sell to the general public. This is a concerning number. It has hit a lot of municipalities, local counties are concerned with it, and we are seeing a lot of conversations amongst others that are really concerned about that. So, but you got to keep an eye on that. This comes back to the affordability of homes. All these houses that are being built that should be going directly to buyers, homeowners, are now being turned into rentals. That is a concern. It just takes more inventory off the market. So we're going to have to continue to see that. I don't know. I personally think that government's going to have to step in and address this at some time, even probably more on the local level government than anything at the national level. But I think the local municipalities have better get their hands around what's going on in their local areas in order to bring back affordable housing back to the communities. So anyways, that's a high level view, but just understand that. How does this affect you as a listing agent? Or I'm sorry, a listing client? You are competing against new construction, no doubt about it. So we don't see a lot of developments that are being built here locally in Cherokee and Cobb County strictly for rents. However, we do see those. So just understand you are competing against them. So when a buyer goes out there, they will look at what it's going to cost them to pay a mortgage, which their mortgage payment just went up, right? The interest rates are gone up. Some of the fees associated with a mortgage now have gone up, and they're comparing that to what they can go out and rent a property for. So they are comparing your home with what they could rent for. So you are now competing with rentals. Many of those rentals are in new construction developments right here. Okay. So make sure your agent understands that and can articulate that, and you come up with a good strategy in order to move forward and be able to compete for a buyer when you also know that you're competing against them thinking about renting. All right, so that's what that slide is all about. This slide is just shows you the pending contract. So this is how much business is being done. And you can see that it's actually down quite a bit. Year over year, it's 23%. So there's fewer deals that are actually occurring. Is this pending? Yeah, these are pending. So let's look at it on the local level. You can see that our numbers really kind of coincide with what they're showing on a national level. Year over year, it's off 23%. You can see here in Cherokee, we're off 26, and in Cobb County, it's almost 31. So right in line with what we're seeing. Once again, you can see the constriction of lack of buyers, the constriction of inventory. So all of that kind of culminates in the fact that less deals are actually occurring. So from a listing, when you are selling your home, what does this mean? This means that you better have a good strategy, a good marketing strategy moving forward with your agent. You've got to get your property in front of more people quicker and faster than anybody else out there. Again, just don't think that you're going to be able to do what they did last year, stick a sign in the yard and stick it on MLS. This just shows you the demand in mortgage rates. Obviously, we all know mortgage rates have increased. This is that, and then this is the I think this is the applications for mortgages, which is down. Um, Again, kind of shows you exactly what's going on in the mortgage industry. There's fewer applications, meaning fewer people are actually applying for a mortgage, right? Same message. So they're not really expecting the sales to rebound until 2024. I think they are right here in 2023. This is an estimate. They are forecasting about just over 4 million sales, home sales in 2023. You can kind of see what it's been in the last 2 years. So that is a drastic decrease. I've heard some people say this is even too high. They think that it may be down into the 3 million mark. That would be half of what we recognized in 2021. That is a major decrease. So again, if you're wanting to sell, there's still transactions occurring. I mean, let's look at closed sales. I mean, locally here in Cherokee County, we still had 774 transactions occur last month. In Cobb County, 1,610. So listen, there's still deals happening. There's still sellers. There's still buyers. There's still buyers. There's still sellers. So it's happening. It's just not happening at the same velocity as we have all been used to over the last 1 or 2 years. What this really is telling us is that we're going back to the basics of what it was like when we had to market a property. You have to come up with a great strategy. Make sure your agent has a very well constructed plan and how to market and attract buyers to your property. That's exactly what we do for our folks. One of the programs that we had just adopted is the 72 Sold. Their program is exclusively designed to do exactly that, to get your property in front of more buyers than any other program that is out there and be able to automatically create interest and urgency with the buyers that they have. It's a fairly extensive program. Would love to be able to explain it to anybody that's interested out there in the program itself, to tell you exactly how it works and how the mechanisms actually work. And you'll see pretty crystal clear that it's a pretty unique program and it's got a great track record of working. So hopefully that was helpful, kind of gives you an idea of what's going on in the market as a whole and the importance of coming up with a great strategy with your real estate agent if you are looking to sell your home in Cherokee or Cobb County anytime soon. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this. If that's an availability, reach out to us with any questions, and hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks.